Hello, so today I just wanted to give you an update on how my rabbits are doing and how things are going here on our homestead. It's a very hot day, so I wanted to get out here and check on my buck Earl. He's a silver fox buck and he has to be at least 10 pounds, maybe even more, I'm not sure. But I wanted to get out here because I noticed yesterday that he's shedding a lot of fur. So I wanted to take him out of the hutch and kind of help him lose some more of that fur to help him be a little bit more comfortable. So let's go see Earl and check on him and see how he's doing. Hi Earl. How you doing, buddy? See, he has a lot of fur, loose fur all over the place, even on the wire too. So I want to get in here and help him get rid of some of that. He's got to be hot. He has black fur. He is in the shade, but it's tough in the summertime for silver foxes. They definitely thrive in the winter weather, which works out well for us because we have quite a few winter months to get through every year. I know, sorry. Hey buddy, let's put you in the shade. I could use a brush and I do have one, but I think using my hands works better. Look at all that hair. And he still has a ton. There's all his new hair. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave him alone now. I got a ton of fur off of him. Here's all his new coat. He has a couple bald spots here. But he's just going through a molt, getting rid of all that fur. I wanted to help him out since it's been so hot, just to help cool him down a bit and get some of that fur off. But look at all this. It's a lot. Here you go, buddy. All right, so let's go see how the rest of the rabbits are doing. All right, so Lucky seems to be doing all right, just resting there in front of her water. We're gonna breed her with our silver fox buck, and then her kits will be mostly silver fox. She's half Rex, half silver fox, but she definitely looks more like a silver fox. So we're hoping to eventually get some brown silver foxes. So Ginger and Nutmeg, we are rehoming them tomorrow. We found another homestead that's interested in taking them. We are getting away from Rex rabbits altogether, and we're just going to raise silver fox. Rex rabbits are just so much smaller than the silver fox, and it worked out well for a while having the mixed breed. That wasn't a big deal, but you know, we're going to try to just go to all silver fox going forward. So we're getting rid of our two Rex does, Ginger and Nutmeg, and we're gonna replace them with some of their offspring. All right, so here is Nutmeg. She's one of the Rex does that's going to be going to a new home tomorrow, and here's one of her babies from her last litter. Now this baby is way too old, you know, to be with mom, but both of my Rex rabbits seem to develop a attitude when I take their babies away. So I'm just going to leave them in there until I rehome, until it's time for me to take them to their new home. But this is one of the does that's going to replace our Rexes. She's half silver fox, half Rex. So any litters that she has, we'll just make sure we breed them with a Rex buck, and then they'll be mostly Rex at that point. So we have 3 litters on the property right now. Two of them were born on the same day, and both of those litters, one is Silver Fox Rex mix and the other litter was pure Rex. Now we got rid of our Rex buck. He was a broken black and white buck that we had named Remy, and we rehomed him, and it just wasn't practical for us to be breeding pure Rex rabbits, especially since we do this for meat. So we ended up getting rid of our buck, and now we have one Silver Fox buck, and we're actually going to be adding another Silver Fox buck to our homestead. So my litters are separated by male and female. It just works out better that way, because if you mix them all together, they'll start showing breeding behaviors, and you don't want that, especially with young rabbits. So we just keep them separated so we don't have to deal with that. And I'll definitely show you the difference between a Rex Silver Fox mix and then just the pure Rex. The pure Rex are a lot smaller, and they're just not practical for meat rabbits. I mean, you can do it, but going forward, that's why we got rid of our Rex buck, and that's why we're also getting rid of our Rex does as well. So let me show you the difference between the two. So I can tell the difference. So this one, he is a Silver Fox Rex mix. He's a pure Rex. He looks just like his father, who we just rehomed. And then this is a mix back here. The brown one's a mix. You can't see them because they're all hiding from me. Come here. Excuse me. Excuse me. The brown one's a mix as well. So the black ones and the brown one, those are Silver Fox Rex mix, and these two are pure Rexes. So over here I have my female rabbits, all of my does from those two litters. And I think all of them except for one. I only have 4 in here, but I also have a couple does in with their moms still, so there would be 6. But like I said, their moms are get kind of grouchy when I take their babies away, so I always just leave one in there until we breed them again. But in this case, we're rehoming them, so I'll keep them together until we rehome them, and then I'll move those does back in here with the other ones. So 3 of these are pure Rex, and 2 of them look just like their mom. And then I have a mixed Silver Fox Rex mix over here, and you know, they'll be ready to be processed in a couple weeks. So that's a Silver Fox Rex mix, and these are the pure Rexes. Those 2 look just like their mom. A little darker, but they look a lot like their mom. So whenever we keep a doe, we've been keeping the Silver Fox Rex mixes. I feel like I keep saying that a lot, but that's what we keep. And this is what Lucky is. And look how big Lucky is. She's a pretty big rabbit. She's a decent size, and I think she's going to make a great mom. So when you keep a doe and you're looking to keep a doe from one of your litters, just keep one that has a good mom, and the mom's easy to breed. You don't want any bad traits carried over and have to deal with that. So just pay attention to how the mom is, because it's likely to carry over to her offspring. So if you don't have a good doe, don't keep any of her offspring for future breeding. So as you can see here, that's Ginger. She's had 2 litters, and she has her baby in here to keep her happy and content. Otherwise, she will not be a very nice rabbit. But she's a beautiful rabbit. I'm gonna miss having them. And she's gonna go to a new home with her sister Nutmeg. And then of course I have my pure Silver Fox litter right here. There's Mom in the back corner that I bred with Earl. And she has quite a few babies in here. I think she has 7 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, she has 7 babies in here. She originally had 9, but we lost 2 at the early stages. These rabbits are a couple weeks younger than the other 2 litters, and they're the same size right now as the other rabbits. So they definitely grow a lot faster. Now, when it comes time to wean these rabbits, I'll just add them to the other 2 litters and separate them male and female like I did the others. But they won't be processed at the same time, so I'll have to process the other 2 litters and then wait to process these ones in the middle of August. Now, the rabbits are all set. They have plenty of food, water, and hay. So now let's go check on my chickens. We have been having a lot of bear problems. You know, the original bear that was coming around was just kind of hanging out and not really causing us any issues, but we have a younger bear. I keep calling him a cub. He's really not a cub. He's just a younger bear than the one that we've been seeing. And he has been going after our chickens and causing us a lot of problems. He's been digging and actually going into the tractor and taking some of our chickens. So we've lost quite a few. Well, the bear cub came back again. And he comes back probably every couple days. But now he's digging at our tractor. So the bear-proof video that I recently posted is of a bigger bear. This is a bear cub. The first bear that was coming around, the bigger bear, wasn't interested in our chickens because, as you could see, he was hanging out with our chickens while they were free-ranging. Well, with this smaller bear, this bear actually wants to eat our chickens. So he's been digging at our chicken tractors quite a bit, as you saw. So now I just want to see how much he dug just now. And we're not very happy about it, but this is our last year doing chickens. It's just, we've had enough raising chickens. It's just not for us anymore, especially since we've been doing rabbits as well. Rabbits work out so much better for us, and they're so much easier and more enjoyable and cleaner. There's just so many benefits to raising rabbits for meat rather than chickens. So we're doing away, we're going to be selling all of our chicken stuff, and we will not be doing chickens anymore. So we had to move our tractor out in the front of our house, hoping that that will help. We took all of our chickens out of the field, and now we have our tractors right in front of our house, especially since we're going to be processing. We don't want to lose any more before we have to process our chickens. So we have that right here in the front yard. So they're all doing well. So stay tuned for a processing video. All right, so now I'm going to show you all the damage that the bear has done to the field. So right over there, it started out the beginning of the week, and I move it every day. I think it started out over here, and I move it every day. And a couple days ago, I had it right in this area, and he dug right there. So I had to move it forward. So I moved it again, and he does this in the middle of the day. So I'll scare him, and then I'll come down here and move it. That way, if he does come back, he has to start all over again. But there's him digging again. There's a bunch of dirt there. So the tractor was right in this area, and he was digging. And then he decided to come over here and leave us a little gift. And then, and that happened yesterday afternoon. I scared him off again. And then last night, I moved the tractor right here. So when I saw him over there, I scared him away, and then I moved the tractor again, obviously because he was digging. And I moved him in this area right here. And yeah, right here. And you can see the hole right there that he was digging. And this is fresh. This was from last night. And he grabbed a couple more of our chickens. So I also have, I have him on my game camera, and I also have a raccoon on my game camera, but raccoons usually come every night, and it's usually not a huge issue if our chickens are full grown, but when they're chicks, we will have problems. So, but he actually climbed through that hole underneath the chicken tractor, and he grabbed a couple of our chickens, and then he left us a gift inside of the chicken tractor. And then he left. Luckily, we still have quite a few chickens left. He just took a few and then left for the night. But that's when my husband and I decided it'd be a better idea if we took them up and put them by the house, just so we can get them to processing day. So raising chickens this year has definitely presented a lot of challenges. You know, we always, you know, we have bears, black bears in New Hampshire, but we've honestly, since we've been living here, we've never had an issue with them. We have had an issue with a bobcat before, and usually raccoons is the main animal that gives us a hard time. But so this year it was quite a learning process. Honestly, it would have been nice if they would have not bugged us this year, especially since it's our last year. It's kind of disappointing because we lost quite a few to that bear. And we lost a few in the beginning, initially when we started putting them out because of a raccoon. So those chicken tractors, yes, they're heavy duty, but when it comes to digging, you know, it's tough. But we don't want to confine them and keep them in a coop. We want them to be on pasture. We want them to be foraging. In these last couple weeks, we haven't been able to let them forage because of this bear. So initially they were foraging a lot, but now it's just moving the tractor every day. And that's how we raise them. So unfortunately, we do lose a few raising them this way. And because of where we live, we literally live in the middle of the woods. So we have a lot of problems with predators, and that's just kind of part of it, unfortunately. But we still have plenty of chickens to process, so we'll be doing that this weekend. So keep an eye out for that. All right, so let's show you our quail. So Alex built this for the quail. It looks really nice. Definitely not built to be in the outside elements, but we have it on our front porch for now. And we got these oil pan trays, which work really well. I have a few. We ordered an incubator, so we're going to be hatching quail eggs before we know it. So that'll be a lot of fun. They're such pretty birds. I definitely think we're going to be a lot happier raising quail. And they're definitely going to be a lot easier, I think. All right, so let's go check on the garden. I'll give you a garden update, and you can see how our garden is doing. I've been able to harvest quite a few cucumbers already. And I have lots of romaine for the rabbits. They have been loving having the fresh romaine. And I have an abundance of tomato plants. I'm just waiting for them to start turning red for me. They're all cherry tomatoes. I didn't do any large tomatoes like beefsteak or anything. Look at that one. Here's my little strawberry patch that I just started this year. They're already starting to have some shoots here, so hopefully those will take root and I'll be able to start some new plants. So that's my garden. It's small, but every year it gets a little bit bigger and I expand a little bit more. Here's a new addition that I added this year. It's a It's a rose bush that produces rose hips. But this will produce rose hips, which are very high in vitamin C. It will bloom in the summertime, and then in the fall it will produce rose hips, which you can eat. And I've been really trying to add plants and bushes and stuff that are edible and beneficial to have on my homestead. I was thinking about getting an elderberry bush next, but I'm adding slowly, and this, I've only watered it a few times and it's doing really well. These are the type of bushes that you will see at a beach because they do really well in sandy soil. So I have an electric pole right here, and there's a lot of sand, so I just planted it right here. And it's been thriving and doing really well. So it still looks really nice, and I just water it here and there. But eventually, hopefully, I'll get some rose hips. So I hope you enjoyed our update on our homestead and everything we have going on here. Like I said, we're going to be processing a whole bunch of chickens this weekend. So we'll have lots of chickens harvested in our freezer. And we're also going to be processing rabbits in a couple weeks. So we'll also have rabbit, which will be very satisfying when it's all said and done. So keep an eye out for that video, processing our chickens. That'll be the end of my meat chicken series. And I'm going to be starting a new rabbit series this fall. It's going to be very detailed, and I'm going to go through everything. So stay tuned for that rabbit series. I'm going to go through, start to finish, from breeding to processing, and I'm going to go through how much feed they go through and all of that. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, or if there's anything you want me to include in that series, please let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely make sure to include whatever questions you may have into my series. But anyway, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video.